I'll sleep with that man so that I can get that money to go and save my child.
Now, your child is critically ill. You have only one alternative to save the life of this child, which is sleeping with a man and taking money from him to save the life of the child. What will you do?
I'll sleep with that man so that I can get that money to go and save my child. Mind you, it's my only child.
Okay.
Yes, if the husband will feel like I just did the wrong thing, we can just divorce. I don't care about that one.
Okay.
That is my child.
Okay.
There is no way I can lose my child. There is no way I can lose my child, and maybe I cannot get another. Like I can't be pregnant again because of me not cheating on you. That's
okay. Do you know that in a traditional African setting, in some cultures, if you sleep with another man, it will cost the life of your husband? Do you know? Yes, so we are back here on the podcast today again. Guys, we have another guest in the house. So we want to talk about a lot of things. I need to understand. You are married and you have a baby and your husband does not have money. And there's a situation that your child is sick. Your child is very sick at a critical situation. And there's no money to save that child. And the only alternative that you have is to sleep with a man to get the money to save the child. Will you leave the child to die, or you sleep with the man to save the child? As an African woman, listen, as an African woman, will you leave the child to die or pray to God or sleep with another man as a married African woman? Wait.
Put it on me.
Okay, I should put it on you.
Yes.
Okay, I want to put it on you. If you are married and you have a husband, legally married in the traditional African way, and you have a husband, this your husband is broke.
It's literally broke.
And your child is critically ill.
Yes, my child. That's why you have mentioned my
your child.
My child
is critically ill. Maybe this is the only child you have. Now, your child is critically ill. You have only one alternative to save the life of this child, which is sleeping with a man and taking money from him to save the life of the child. What will you do?
I will do that.
You will do what?
I will just sacrifice myself. I will sleep with that man so that I can get that money to go and save my child. Mind you, it's my only child.
Okay.
Yes, if the husband will feel like I just did the wrong thing, we can just divorce. I don't care about that.
Okay.
That is my child.
Okay.
There is no way I can lose my child.
Do you know?
There is no way I can lose my child, and maybe I cannot get another. Like I can't be pregnant again because of me not cheating on you. I will cheat on you, and I will tell you that I'm going to cheat on you. I'm going to cheat on you. I'm going to take that money. I'm going to save it. Honestly, I will do that.
Okay. Do you know that in a traditional African setting, in some cultures, if you sleep with another man, it could cost the life of your husband? Do you know?
No, I don't know. And for the moment, I do tell you, we are not in the 19th century. We are not those are for fathers' time.
Yeah.
Come on, we're on the 21st century.
Okay. But I'm just asking you a question. Do you know that in some culture,
and that's
if you sleep with, for example, if I'm your husband, if me as a person, if I'm your husband, and
that's
there's a situation like this
on the 21st.
Forget about 21st century. We are not British. We are not Americans. We are Africans.
Yes, we are Africans,
okay?
But we are already.
So forget
advanced.
about the 21st century and the 13th century. This is the reason why you ladies cheat in 2025, because all of you Gen Z ladies now, or the ladies right now, they feel that
so you think
are the
the
21st century.
Gen Zs that cheats?
No, because of course. Let me tell you why I say Gen Z ladies cheat. The reason is very simple. Millennials, they think that there's a culture. They still believe in the culture of our ancestors. They still believe that if they cheat, something will happen. But you Gen Zs, you think that if you cheat, nothing will happen because maybe the gods are asleep now, or you think that our ancestors are on TikTok, So that is why you ladies think that you can just cheat and do whatever you want.
So let me just ask you this question. So you think that you millennials are so holy? Like you millennials, you uphold this tradition?
Me as a person,
I know. Thank you. That's why you say you as a person.
No, I know. Me as a person, I know that a lot of ladies that were born in the 80s a lot of ladies that were born in the 80s, they still believe that if they cheat on their
Okay,
husband,
don't you know that the millennials are the worst in this field?
how?
Yes, you're the worst.
You ladies that are Gen Z, that you believe that the gods of our lands are sleeping. I've seen a lot of people that have said that our ancestors are on TikTok.
I never said
Okay.
that our gods are actually. I don't believe on the forefathers and everything.
You see,
I don't believe
you don't
that.
believe for sure. You don't believe for sure. You don't believe on our forefathers for sure. We are Africans.
I don't.
You should believe on our forefathers.
Why should
You don't believe on our forefathers. That is why you
The
think
only
that a married
person-
woman can cheat.
the only person that I do believe in?
Mm.
The only person that I do believe in is Jesus Christ. These other things are the rest.
We are not talking about believing in Jesus Christ.
That's
We are
what I'm
talking about
saying.
our ancestors. We
Our
are
ancestors,
Africans, and we
we're
have a
Africans,
root.
and that's why I say
Yes, we have
the
a
only
root.
thing that I believe and the only person that I believe was the way I was brought up by my mom when I was a kid. The only person that my mama taught me to trust in
Is God.
is God. So these other things, the ancestors, I don't know these the forefathers. I don't believe in them because I know we all came from one person, which is
God. Okay.
Thank you. So these about the cultures and everything. We're on the 21st century.
And you don't
Thank
believe
you.
in that.
No, I don't.
Do you know that after you sleep with a man, as a married woman, to save the life of your child, do you know that it could still lead to the
It
loss of
won't.
life of that child?
It won't. And that's why I've told you in the first place, I will literally tell him that I'm going to do this and that.
But which man are you going to tell like that and he's going to accept?
If he doesn't accept, well and good, he just let me be. Because I want to save my child. I have to save my baby. I have to. If he
See.
can't provide, so I'll just have to.
If he
go
can't
fund
provide, let me tell you something. If he can't provide, okay, and you love that man, and he
And I
cannot
told you
provide,
that there was no
and
situation.
you continue to pray, and according to you now that you said your mother only told you to pray and believe in God. If you continue to pray and
And that's
believe in
why-
God, and then you believe that God can solve the situation instead of
that's why-
sleeping with another man, and
will
then
do
finally, if finally for any reason there's a loss of that child, if you lose that child, okay, you will still get pregnant. You will still get another child, another 20 kids if you want.
No, thank you. That child.
It's better than
I will
affecting the
save
life of
that
the
one.
of the father.
Why? I will save that child.
You
Because
save
I
that child.
believe-
And what about if you save the child and it leads to the loss of life of the father?
the father won't die?
Okay, if
He won't die. He won't
let's
die.
rephrase it now. Let's look at it this
He
way
will
now.
not.
Let's look at it this way now, from the other perspective. If you're sleeping with a man,
Okay, tell me
No, wait.
How many men have
Wait,
died
wait.
because their women have cheated on them? Answer me that.
wait,
How many men have died because their women have really cheated on them? And so many women do that outside there. So how many men have died outside here?
wait,
And
we come
African
to that. I
women-
will answer you, don't worry.
How many
Relax.
have died?
We come to that. Your question, just wait. Let me finish my point. A situation like this, you have two options. If you sleep with this man outside, it's going to lead to the loss of life of the father or the husband. Okay? If there's a situation like this, it will lead to the loss of life of the child. Because culturally, where I come from, and I know that a lot of viewers know that this will happen if this situation comes.
That's why I'm not a Nigerian.
I'm not talking about Nigeria. We're Africans. Forget about the country. We are
because
Africans.
I think
Okay,
maybe the
Africa,
usually
all our
practice
cultures
that
are
on you.
almost the same.
No.
You don't know, but you don't know because you are Gen Z. This thing you are saying now, you don't know it because you are Gen Z. Go and find out. Ask
So
your
what if I'm a
grandfather.
Gen Z? You're making it look like us Gen Zs we are foolish.
No,
and everything.
you Gen Zs, you don't research our culture.
It's not
and,
about
and
doing
our
the
culture is
research
very
and-
important.
Why
We are
don't you
Africans.
just open your eyes and just say, okay? So you just let your child die because you won't do this.
I'm placing two options in front of you. If you sleep with another man to take the money, it could lead to loss of life of the husband. Okay? And if you don't sleep with the man to take the money, it could lead to loss of life of the child. Which of them will you accept to go with?
Let me be a little bit selfish. I guess the father has also lived alone.
The father has also lived his
At
life.
least the father have seen life. Let also that child at least live.
So let's assume that the father is 45 years.
It's okay.
It's okay. So let the father go and give way for the child.
So imagine that child is only 5 years old.
Even if the child is just 2 years old, the father should give way for the child.
Why not? If you truly love your kid, you'll do everything for that child. Honestly.
So
and let's not go further.
No.
About this.
You are trying to say that the father should give way for the child, correct?
Why not?
Okay. Is it better for the child to be fatherless?
He will find a father.
He will find a
He'll
father.
find a father figure outside here. A lot of men wants to have. You'll find a father figure outside here. Thank you.
This is so funny.
You'll find a father figure outside there, but I
Sarah.
stand on my ground
Yeah.
though.
Mm.
The father of my child won't die because I cheated on him. Honestly.
And if there's a situation that he has to die, he will die.
No, I'm standing on my ground actually. He will not die.
Mm.
Yeah, he will not die.
Okay.
I'm standing on my ground. You will not die.
Okay, I want to tell you to go and research your ancestors, their culture, okay?
No, I'm not doing any research, but I'm
Research
sure
your ancestors' culture.
die.
And let's see.
Not die.
It's
He will
okay.
not
It's
die.
okay, but I will advise you and I will tell you today, and all of you listening to me out there, all you Gen Z listening to me, in a situation like this,
If and why you
please
putting on
don't.
the Gen Zs as
No,
if-
because I know you are Gen Z. When I'm
Yes,
talking to,
I'm not-
if I'm
I
talking
know
to a
I'm a
millennial,
Gen Z.
if I'm talking to a millennial and the millennial is saying this, you are saying, I will say to all you millennials out there, I'm talking to you as a person, and this is your own opinion.
Okay,
I
this is
stand
your
to be
own opinion.
corrected. People in the comment section can decide if I am wrong or I'm right. But I'm saying that in a situation where you have to make one choice, to me, I think the right thing to do as an African is to let the child go and let the father be safe, because the lady was in love with the man before they decided to be together. Correct? So if in a situation like this, let the baby go and let the father stay, and they will have more kids, more 10 kids if they want.
Okay, and in
Because
my
if the
ground,
father has gone
You've
and
already
the
given
and
your
the kid is
opinion.
there,
You've
of
already
course they will not.
you've
They
already
will
given
not
your
have
opinion.
another kid.
You have already given your opinion.
Yeah. So what's your?
On my opinion,
Mm.
the father will not die. The father will not die because a lot of women outside there, a lot of women who are married, have actually cheated on their husbands, and their husbands are still healthy, and they have not died.
Okay.
So he will not die. And those things about, I don't know, the cultures and everything, we're on the 21st.
Do you know that there's in some part of Africa, when the woman cheats on the husband, a married woman, culturally married in an African context, when the woman cheats on the husband, it affects the life of the child. Do you know?
I know that one is that I know that.
So what do you know, if after sleeping with that man to get the money to save the life of the child, do you know that the child could
It will
from there
only
turn
affect
to affect
if you're
problem?
breastfeeding that child.
Okay, so
Just
you
another
even have a culture in your place.
Yes.
So there's one
It only
culture.
affects if I am breastfeeding that
Okay,
child.
so let's assume now that this child you are trying to save
No.
is just a 6-month-old baby.
Don't give it a
No, you
turn
must.
out of-
No, you must answer this question.
I'm not answering that one.
No.
I've already stand on my ground.
No,
I'm not
I want
answering
I
that
want to
one.
I want to understand your ground. No,
My ground is the father will not die.
I agree that the father will not die.
I will
Okay,
not die.
Done. Forget about the father. You have said that in your culture, it could affect the child if the child is
Only
breastfeeding.
you are cheating with multiple men.
So we still want to know if the gods will be angry with you or no about all you have said, because I know that the gods of our land will be too much angry with you. But
No,
it's
their
fine.
land, not my land.
The gods of my land. If you were my wife, if you were my wife, you don't know that the gods of our land will be too much angry with you.
Because I'm saving another life.
Another life of a baby.
Yes.
And you said before that if the lady's breastfeeding, that is only situation where
Yeah, I know.
it will affect the baby in your culture.
Yeah, I remember I was told that one. Grandmother.
Okay, will it be possible?
Mm-hmm.
Will it be possible for you to go and ask your grandmother and your grandfather,
They are not alive, so.
or your neighbor, an old woman in your neighborhood,
Hmm.
or an old man in your neighborhood? Could you just go and ask them about your culture? Because it's very important that you ladies right now, you know your culture. Because this is one problem we are facing right now in Africa. Ladies, Gen Z ladies, you don't know the culture.
It's okay.
And that is a very big problem.
So
I'm advising all you ladies out there, you Gen Z ladies out there, both the married ones and the ones that are planning to get married soon, please go and know your culture. Africans, please go and know your culture. If you don't have a grandfather and your father does not know the culture, I'm not trying to say that your father does not know the culture. I say if you don't have a father or you don't have a grandfather, or you don't have parents that knows the culture, please, you can find out from your neighbors, your kinsmen, old people in your area, so that they will reorient you about the culture. The gods of our land are not sleeping, and they are not on TikTok. All of you that are thinking that they can bribe the gods of our land and they will forgive your sins, let me tell you, all those things that you do behind closed doors, they are coming to your children and they're your children's children. That's why you see a lot of people now suffer what they don't know, what they don't understand where it's coming from, guys. This is very important. This is very important. Please find out about your culture from your grandfathers, your fathers, your uncles, or your neighbors. Very important.
let me just ask you a question.
Ask me, please.
I guess you have a child who is less than 5 years.
Okay.
The Gen Alpha.
Huh?
The Gen Alphas.
Yes. Go ahead.
So do you think by the time that child of yours is of my age.
Mm.
Do you think they will uphold that thing that you're saying, the tradition and everything?
I don't want them to uphold. If I have a child, okay, today.
I just asked you a simple
I'm
question.
I'm answering you. This is an answer
Do
I've
you
given
think
to
they
you.
will uphold that?
That's why I'm telling you that.
We're getting more advanced and
That's
more.
what I'm telling you that. My
Moreover-
role.
moreover,
Listen.
that child is here in the UAE.
If the
So
child,
tell me when he.
if I have a child, listen to me, okay? If I have a child in the UAE today and my child is here, okay, I give birth to a child just now. Once my child begins to come up, I will begin to tell him immediately about my culture, okay? Because nobody knows tomorrow. Maybe I will be available or not to tell. Now I will start to tell the child about my culture already. If I tell the child about my culture already, I've played my part.
We're
If
advanced.
the child don't want to adhere to what I've said,
We're advancing.
and because he said that we are Gen Z or we are whatever, they don't want to adhere, it's fine. When the repercussion comes, okay, you take it alone. I'm not going to be held responsible. My ancestors will bear me witness that I've told you. Do you understand? Just the way now that you don't know, maybe somebody have not told you, and I'm here now, I'm telling you today, okay, that it is a taboo all over Africa, whether you are Gen Z or not, for a married woman to be sleeping with a man. If you are married culturally, I'm not saying if you are married in a court, I don't know about that. But if you are married culturally in an African context, all over Africa.
Who are married in church and the court, what's the difference?
I'm saying, I don't know. Now your question is, those who are married in church or in court, what is the difference?
There is no
I will
difference.
tell you the difference. There's a great difference. Now let me tell you the difference. In an African context, when you are married in church or in the court, it's not a valid marriage. A marriage is said to be valid in Africa.
So
If both parents come together to take the money called the bride price or the dowry. So let's assume that you need to pay 1 dirhams or 1 shilling in Kenya. Okay? Once this 1 shilling, if I want to marry you, for example, and I need to pay 1 shilling, okay, I need to buy a cap for your father and a walking stick and a tuber of yam. Once I've been able to buy this tuber of yam, do you understand? And I've been able to give your father this 10 shillings. This is all that we need to be married in an African context.
okay, so
Any other thing is formality. That's not our
okay,
culture.
fine. Let me just ask you this.
So if this 5 shillings
So
is not
all
paid to your
those
father,
ladies,
if this 5 shillings is not paid to your father, and you go and sleep with another man, maybe, I don't know, maybe it will not affect anybody.
so let me just ask you.
Ask me,
all
please.
these ladies that are married through courts and church weddings, that is not a traditional.
In Africa, that's not a valid marriage.
It is.
See, listen.
Because honestly, even those who are married at church, at court, the husbands have already paid their bride price.
That is not the point. If a man pays your bride, if I want to marry you, for example,
What
now,
is your point now?
listen, my point is very simple. You're not listening. If I want to marry you now, first step is to go to your father and pay him the 10 shillings. When your father take the 10 Kenyan shillings from me, I can now decide to take you to the church and marry you in the church and take you to Abu Dhabi court and marry you there. It's fine. Do you understand? But if I just take you to Abu Dhabi court and marry you there and take you to the church and marry you there without paying the money to your father first, it's not a valid marriage in Africa. Do you understand?
Still
So
valid.
among our kinsmen, you are not married. Among your aunties, among your uncles, you are not married. Do you understand?
The good thing is
Maybe it's different from your country. Is it different in Kenya?
I know it's not different. Like, if I'm married at church, my parents are there. My parents walked me down the aisle.
That's not the point. If your father has not collected 10 shillings or the money for the salt or the cap or the walking stick or the clothes.
The only thing that we do in Kenya is just to pay the dowry.
Yes. So if the dowry has not been paid, is the woman married?
There is no way you can just do a church wedding without paying a dowry.
That is what I am saying. That's what I'm saying. So if the dowry have been paid in an African context, every culture and tradition bounds on
Because
the woman.
on the day of your wedding, the way I know in Africa, on the day of your wedding, if you have not paid the dowry, they do pay on that day, on that particular day. I don't know. But
Some people are here some people are here in the diaspora. They just go to the court, get married without marrying the woman in two Africans, for example. They go to the court, they get married without paying the dowry. You don't know. You have not seen like that here.
But you never know. They just maybe sent money.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
No, if they sent money, it's okay.
Don't
If they sent money, it's
judge
okay. But also, I don't know about your culture, but also there are some traditional things that will be said on the day of the marriage. There are some traditional ways of offering the drink the bride or to the groom. However, on the day of the marriage, do you understand?
I think
Those
that's what
traditions.
happens in your tradition.
No, in Kenya it does not happen.
No.
There's not like a traditional marriage in Kenya.
I said the traditional marriage is the traditional marriage. The only traditional marriage I know in Kenya is the Rorasho.
Okay.
Rorasho. Yeah.
It's okay, guys. With this, we've come to the end of this podcast. If you think that this lady is wrong, drop your comment on the comment section.
No.
If you think I'm wrong, drop it on the comment section. And if you're out there and you know the culture of Kenya and you want to tell us more about the culture so that the Gen Z ladies will not fall victim for what they do in marriages, please send a DM and we'll get you on this podcast.